Okay, so now we're going to take a look at creating hair using polygons. It's a games engine which this is sort of designed to be real-time rendered, is not going to support any sort of hair systems. So what we're going to do is we're going to use curves to create a basic geometry and then create strands of hair which we can then texture. So we'll start off with the modeling part. So what I'm going to do is I want to draw some curves over the surface, and I can do that by making this object live. And when it's live, it will means that the when I'm drawing, the curves will be it basically creates a snap to model kind of situation. So let's go into this one, and I'll say make live, and you'll see it will just sort of grey out here. And I'm going to go and get my EP curve tool, and I'm going to simply draw using straight lines and some, oh, it is there, right, okay. So what I'm looking for is certainly when I'm drawing it, there's like things like this with the hair going around the ear. So I'm really kind of trying to take into the geometry, but I'm just going to start at the top here, and we'll just click some curves. If I click away, it will just actually just snap down to it, but hit enter, just check that it has created a curve here. There's the curve. If I'm looking in the renderer here, then I need to be looking in the default. I can also here just switch off polygons and then just check that, because I'm not 100% sure that curve, and that's why. There we go, the usual. So there's the curve, so it's kind of nice to draw and then see them coming in over here. So let's do that again and take another line further down. So click around here and then back down to, I think on these I'm going to just stick on the head here. I'll show you a bit later how we can then extend these. So hit G, go back into the tool. Let's cut one down around here. Hit enter. G, and now let's cut one that's going to come over the ear. Come down here. Again, I'll just click away there. And G again, and let's just click some of these down around there. Did I just, yes, I didn't close off the first one, so it was just a zigzag line. Hit enter, G, and then down, G. So we can see there I've got the basic form here. Now what I want to do is I want to just make sure that these curves are going to be long enough here. So, and I think here I've got the same issue I've had before, that the image is a little bit too far forward, so I can't actually see this one. Although having said that, then I probably need to put those curves on here as well. So actually that's fine. So what I want to do now is I'd like these curves just to extend out a little bit, and I can do that using my extend curves tool. I'll go to surfaces here, and there I can say extend curve, and here I can choose a little setting here, and when I extend it, it's going to go off down here. That's one way of doing it. Of course, I need to make that a little bit longer. Another thing I can do here is simply go freestyle, draw it on. Now I could do that with the first one because it's pretty much on the center, but these, what's going to happen is that they'll all get tied in. Although having said that, the fact is that all the hairs do want to get tied up at the back here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to undo that. So undo back, and I'm going to choose add points tool. So the add points tool is essentially going to allow me just to carry on drawing over this one. So in fact, before I do that, let's just move this vertex point here at the end. Let's just move it off the surface a little bit. a little bit further up there. Oh, I've still got the live objects on, so it will, as soon as I go this way, I think it's going to snap. No, that's alright. So let's switch off the live object anyway, so that will, don't need that now. So I'll just select it and modify and say make not live. Right, okay, so now back to this one and insert, or add points rather than tool, and I'm just going to click down to that, hit enter, select this one, hit the G key, reset the tool or last tool used. Also I can go down to this one now, enter, next curve, G, and I think we'll just have the one going across there, and G, whoops, no, that's not what I want to do. Just hit enter, select the next one, G, and again I'm just going to click once up to there, and we might as well do these bottom ones as well, just carry them on up as well. So G, and just click a couple of times to there, select this one, G, and so we use the we can snap the stars of the curves to the scalp here, and then after that we're just going off into, you can see that that bottom one's a little bit too straight, but we'll sort that out a bit later. Right, so I've got my geometry here. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that all of these curves have the same number of points. Now I'm only going to do it down to this line here, and then we'll do a separate little piece of geometry for this bit. So the way I can do that is I can rebuild these curves so they all have the same number of points, because I haven't actually paid attention to. Now what I do is I click through them, and if I go to the attributes I can see it's got 5 spans. This one has 5, this one has 5, this one has 7, and we don't worry about those two. So what I'll do is I'm just going to rebuild these 3 to have 7 spans, and then I can loft across the whole lot here. So let's select this one, and I go to edit curves, and I say rebuild the curve, and if I just reset this one, and I'll say keep the CVs and keep it linear, and I'll hit rebuild, and I did that wrong because in actual fact that is only going to not do anything actually with this one. I need to uncheck keep CVs and say 7 and hit apply, and now you see over here it's changed to 7. Select this one, hit apply, select this one, and I will hit apply because I've parameterized them on the 0 to 1, and this one is from 0 to 5, so just for the sake of it, and that's how we'll do it like that. Okay, so oh, and that one as well, we need to, oh, that's already been done. So we select all of these, and I go to surfaces, and let's just see what happens when I do a loft here now. So this is only not showing me it because so I can see here it's actually created pretty good over on this one. Let's have a look because I haven't got my polygons on, and let's just have a look at the switch off these ones here. I thought that was on there. No, so let's just add that, switch it off. Right, okay, so here's the geometry. It's not too bad. It's on polygons here. It's a little bit wonky at the back there. Let's just undo it and see if we can get any better results here. Well, yes, no, of course I've undone. Okay, so let's just stick that onto that layer and switch it off, and do it this way around, this manner. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that's the rebuild options. Let's go back to loft here, and we've got it on cubic. That's okay. We've got some section spans, which means it's going to divide it once in between. If we increase this, then we're going to get a nice a bit more of a smoothing. So if I hit now apply, now it's going to be a little bit better there. And you can see here, this is where the hair is getting pulled up over the ear. It's a little bit out at the back there, but this is really just going to be sort of a template for me to work from. So let's just do this last bit of hair here. So let's just check what we've got here on these. I've got 4, and that one is 6. So I think what I'm going to do, because what I'm eventually going to have to do is join up with here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 points there. So it would be a good idea if I just reduce these down to 3 points and then just extrude it up. So if I select this one and I then say rebuild curves, now it's going to distort this curve quite a bit, and this one, but it's okay. We've just that's going to work out nicely. So we'll just select these two, and let's just say loft those two together, and I should check. You see that the faces are the wrong way around here. So let's just before I'm going to join these two together. Before I do that, let's just reverse normals, or if you don't want to go out of the menu, just hit spacebar. For some reason that's alright. Do shift, right click, not face normals, reverse normals. Then we're fine there. And 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. And then what we do is we join these together, and we will say combine, and then what I'll do is select these edges, and what I'm going to try and do here to avoid that double edge is bridge the ends. No, I knew that was going to, so let's just do it one at a time. Bridge that one, bridge this one, and then fill the hole. Fill the hole. Right, okay. Now the main thing is we've got all the geometry going back into the hairband at the back here. I've got this sort of double edge here. In fact, do I want to? I think I might just merge these all up. Where are they going? It's that one, that one, and that one. Well, I'll leave that one for the time being. I think that will come to sort itself out. Okay, so let's just put the geometry back on again here. So if I go back over to my layers, switch this one on again, and you might want to colour the hair. Just put a new shader on it, just so you can actually see what you're doing. So if I say let's just put a blend and make it black, so it's very clear where my geometry is here. And now what I want to do is I want to go through and actually just sort of remodel this a little bit, just pull the hair out a little bit. I've got the nice flow from using these curves. I create a nice flow of the hair over the head here. So let's start. In fact, what I'll do is I just template out this one so I don't select it. Just click away and click back on this one, and we're going to go to vertex, and we're already in the side view here. So right, so that one looks like it's a little bit off. So use my arrow keys, I can navigate my way through. Hopefully navigate my way through. There we go. Select that one and just pull this one up and across, and now I can navigate through. So let's pull these up. Although this will actually, we're going to have some strands of hair, but let's just carry on actually with this. We can, okay, so, and then go to the next row, and let's just start to, we go to the one. Let's go slightly different direction here. Go to wireframe. I can also see that this is approximately where I want my hairline is to come down here, so this isn't too bad. And some of these want to come out. Well, let's stick to this view to start off with. So. And let's bring these up. And basically you just bring these out. Now don't bring them up too high, because we're actually going to end up breaking off little individual strands, so we need, this is kind of the base of our whole hair here. So, and so maybe I'll pause this, and then we'll come back when I've moved all these points out a little bit. On the back of the head here, there's a little bit too much geometry down here. You can see it all, so you can just take this out. Just take out these three middle lines. There's no point in just say delete edge, and then you can always just spread this geometry out a little bit. If I hit 4 on a keyboard, this line's actually okay. Maybe I want to move it down a little bit, although this isn't, but this is where I can just spread these out, and the geometry is okay here. And obviously on the back here, navigate down. Maybe pull that one out a little bit more there. So these are probably, so I've got quite a bit of geometry on the top there as well, but that's where I kind of want it to be. Okay, now let's just go back to, that's the sort of line I'm looking at now. Which way am I pulling it? Oh, it's just optical illusion. It looks a bit strange, that. I think this one needs to come over a bit more as well. Right, okay, so doesn't matter, there's a few bits coming out there, but it's just the basic. For the ponytail here, I would think about doing the same kind of technique. Now I'm not going to do, there's no object to snap to here, but what I could do is quite simply go to EP Curve Tool. This time I'm actually probably going to count my 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Well, no, it's not really much point in counting. I can just rebuild them. G, do one on the inside here. And do one in the center here as well. So G, and then follow the strand of hair here down. Hit enter, and let's just rebuild these curves. So let's see what we've got here. I've got let's have a look. We've got 5, 8 and 5. So let's make them all 8. Let's select this one and rebuild it to 8, and select this one, rebuild it to 8, select across. Now I could, I've got a couple of choices really. Actually, let's just, I'm better off just moving the, let's just bring that one across, and let's just see if I say control, let's go to my move tool here, and if I switch on soft selection and I click on the end here, then I can actually just pull this across in a nice gradual way there. I'll leave it at that for the time being. That's good enough to get some sort of form out of this. So let's select this one, and this one, and we say loft, and let's try see what we've got here. Well, that's not bad. It's a little bit flat, but the actual shape is fine. We don't have. We probably want to match these up, but this is going to be okay for. It just needs a little bit of. Actual fact, if I keep the soft selection on, it's kind of. Although I think now I'm going to pull the whole lot over. Yeah. So let's just reduce the radius a little bit. A little bit more. So 1.2. It's a little bit better. Anyway, I'm not going to worry too much on this little bit on the bottom there. Right, okay, so that's going to be our basic setup, and then what we want to do is to create strands of hair to give it some sort of depth. So what I want to do here is pick a nice piece of the geometry that I can start to reuse, and I think what I'm going to go for is something like this. Switch off my soft selection here, and I'm going to say shift right click here, say extract faces, and I'll create a separate object. So separate will create a new object here, and I'm getting a error message, and that is because, let's just undo that. Let's try unchecking that one, saying extract. Let's just put it out a little bit. Oh no, that's actually, you know what I want to do? I don't actually want to extract that out. I want to duplicate it. That's what I want to do. So let's just do that again. Let's just check I haven't. Yep, I have undone back. So I say, let's just go over to polys and I'll show you where it is. We say duplicate face, and there we go. and on the duplicate face options, that's where I say create a separate object. Hit apply. I'm still getting an error, and the reason I'm getting an error is it because I keep faces together on. Actually, if I do that, I'll end up with every single piece kind of. Alright, plan B, keeps duplicate. So this is still part of the same object group. So you see the original is there. Now what I can do is I should be able to say separate, and I'm still getting an error message. Why? Let's just separate. I know why. Because I need to delete the history, because I'm using NURBS. NURBS is pretty dependent on the history, so if I say delete all by type history, and now he says confidently that was the problem, but in actual fact it might not be. Let's try that again. Mesh, separate. There we go. That was the reason. It's the pesky history here. Right, so let's have a look at this object, and yes, it's done exactly what I said, because keeping that one off, you see here it's created. Let's just undo back. Right, keep faces together is on again. Good. So we say separate, and then I go to object mode, and it's done it again. Alright, let's just say here combine, and you'll probably find if I hit 3 now, no, it's alright. No, that is a telltale. It didn't smooth off, so I've probably got double points on this now, because the combine won't. So if I select all the points and say merge vertexes, and now I've got them down to, now when I hit 3, you see that smooths properly. I know that's right now. Okay, bit of a long way around that one, but I've probably done it a little bit quicker. Let's have a look at its UV map, because that's what we're going to actually work on this one. So if I go to the UV texture editor here, I can see that none of my UVs are distorted. Now, usually this might be a problem, but in this one, this is actually exactly what I want. This is the UVs here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring them down into the window here, and I'm actually just going to snap these up to the top, and I'm going to create my UV map from this one. So I'll just create a snapshot, and then in the next class, the next tutorial, we'll look at creating a hair texture here.